Hey, Seth, Miranda here, last ex-witness on virtual social media. Welcome to my channel. If you don't know who I am, I'm a pro photographer right here in New York City. And what you're about to watch is one of my Twitch chats, which happen live. And you could be a part of those Twitch chats if you want to join the channel at twitch.tv/lastexwitness. I'd be happy to have you on there. It's a heavy photo nerd community where we do live Q&As, share each other's images, do some critiques. I even bring on other industry professionals to talk some, behind the scenes stuff and maybe get some insights from different areas of the industry and things like that. But this was a really interesting Twitch stream, I should say, because Nikon sent me their Z50 to check out. So I decided to plug it in and see what it's like to live stream from it, see how it autofocuses, see how the color looks, see how long the battery lasts, just its overall performance. And usually I'm doing this through a Z6, which you guys are watching me. So what happened was, based on the chat, we set up both at one time. So you saw the Nikon Z6 right against the Z50, literally right next to each other simultaneously. One was a little out of sync. See, that's the train. I'm not kidding you. I'm really from New York. And then it got even crazier from that. After we saw what it could look like with the crop factor with the same lens, we kept swapping out the lens on the Z50 to things like this Irix 150 macro, which obviously became more than just a 150 with that crop factor on it. And even this all-manual Helios 44-2 or 44-2. They're pretty trendy out there for their very soft bokeh. And it's an all-manual lens with an adapter from screw mount to an adapter on Nikon onto the Z50. So you got to see all that madness happen, even get to hear the onboard microphone versus my lav mic and see how that worked out. All this happened live based on the chat steering it one way or another. And it got so crazy, we even plugged in my Fuji X100V, which is one of my favorite cameras to throw in my bag at all times. But I'm not so sure it was meant for live streaming, and not a lot of people stream from Fuji, but you'll see what this acted like on the stream in compared to a Z50 or the Z6. Still a great camera. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. I know it's a little long. I edited it down a bunch, but it's still going to go for a little while. Maybe next time you can be in that chat and steer the conversation, the stream, where you want to go, or maybe find out things you want to know instead of just writing me comments down below asking questions. Be in the chat room, be part of the community. So hit up twitch.tv/lastexwitness, and don't forget to join the Discord as well on that page. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Enjoy the chat. Peace. So you're looking at me on a Nikon Z50. No, it was not a Z6. This is a Z50. It is on a different lens. It's lower because it's smaller and it's on a smaller GorillaPod. But I should have actually put it on something to make it a little higher. But what I really want to see here is how long is this battery going to last, because this thing does not have an AC adapter yet. What is going on, Nikon? So without an AC adapter, we are going raw with just straight up battery power. So 2 batteries fully charged. I just set this one up about maybe 4 minutes ago. So we'll see how long this battery lasts for. I cannot power from the USB port. No, you can charge from the USB, but not while the camera's on. I told Nikon this. They're like, we're on it. And I'm like, does that mean we're going to get a firmware update to make this thing charge while the USB port is connected? That would be amazing. So far, this thing is taking up half the space of the Z6 easily. So if you're worried about something blocking a screen or whatever, it's doing pretty good. With the screen flipped towards me, I can kind of see what's going on, which is really nice. Other than that, it's a Z50, so it's lower cost than the Z6. The one thing you don't have in this is stabilization. So when the train goes by, you might see this rock a little bit, which, could be a thing. And, we'll see how fast the autofocus responds to my face, to my hand, to my face, to my hand, to my face, and does it get messed up? If I go like this, will it focus on the back wall? Yep. When I go like this, do I come back? Yep. Boom. So it's pretty much the same speed as the Z6 for this application. And it is pretty intuitive as far as the button layout, the menus, everything is the same as the Z6. So I'm kind of all right with it. I'm sure if there was stabilization in it, it would jump the price up pretty high. Well, Riyadh, did you check what your autofocus settings are on? Because on these Nikons, I can set the sensitivity and the speed of how fast they snap, because some people who do video like a slower focus, so it doesn't feel so jittery when they're watching something, like a slower and more natural pull of focus. So check that. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys see any difference in the visuals, but to me it looks pretty much the same as my Z6. However, this lens does go a little bit brighter, wider I should say. Oh, it goes, hold on. So it goes to 3.5 instead of 4. Ooh. Yeah, I think I might have that option. I should check. My line's pretty smooth and cinematic. Yeah, I mean, for the stream stuff, I like it fast because when I'm trying to show you guys something, I don't care about a cinematic look. I just like it to be really boom, boom. Also, this lens is a fraction of the size of my Z6. Z6 lens is this big. That means it has this much more to spin back and forth to make that autofocus happen. So that means this lens might be faster just because of what it is. It might not be the camera at all, right? Looks very similar, right? So you're talking about a Z6 that normally costs around $1,600 to $1,800 for the body, then maybe like $400 to $500 for a lens, versus a Nikon Z50, which is about $800 for the body and maybe $1,100 for a kit, or yeah, about $1,100 for the kit. So not bad, right? So it's very comparable, and it's the same exact lens mount. I can take all the stuff from my Z6 onto the Z50, and I can use the adapter as well to put all my old Nikon glass on it. So it's pretty cool. The only thing that's killing me is there's no AC adapter. Ugh. What lav mic you're using? I'm still using the same the Rode Go Lav. I am going to be tripping up my words like crazy right now because I feel like, meh. I was about to ask about adapting other Nikon lenses. Yeah, it's the same exact mount. The Z mount is the same Z mount. Oh, let me do that. Is the same Z mount that's on this. So I can swap these lenses onto that camera. Yeah, they'll be cropped. It's just like the old Nikon, right? Nikon DX lenses and the FX lenses, right? Same thing. So right now, Canon is the only one that doesn't seem to have a unified mount. They have the M mount for their crop sensor mirrorless, and they have the, why is this not coming off? R mount for their full frame. So we'll see where they're gonna go with that. Sony still has their E mount and their FE mount, which is the same mount, just one's full frame, one's crop sensor, and Nikon has the Z mount. So, you know, that's kind of cool. I can still use the adapter, right? Which means on this Z50, I can still use my Helios here. Can you see the Helios? The Helios. Let me see. This thing does have like a really snappy autofocus though, huh? Look at that. Boom, boom. Really nice. I dig it. I'm kind of into it. I feel it. I do wish it had a AC adapter though. It's the only thing that's killing me. Could you use the DX lenses with the FTZ adapter with no penalty? The DX lenses with the adapter. I guess you wouldn't have a penalty, would you, huh? I don't know. I have no DX lenses anymore, so I couldn't tell you. I wonder if that is a thing. That's an interesting thought there, Robbie. You're not going to use your M50 and Z6 together to live stream? Oh, you mean the Z50 and the Z6 two at once? So I don't have enough cam links to put them in together. I could wire one in from a... You want to see if we can do that? Let's see if I can wire this thing. Okay, let's try it. Why not? Let's see if I can do it live, because nothing ever goes wrong when I'm live, right? Let's try it. Okay, what do I need? I need this to plug into this, and I wire that. I need a C. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the HD60S from Elgato, and I'm going to wire that in. Okay, so this is going to get a little tricky. This is going to get a little weird. But we like getting weird, right, people? I need a USB-C. There's cables everywhere, people. Hang on, guys. Sorry. I was not planning on doing this, but you're calling me out live. How can I not do this? All the weirdos are in this chat. Look, what is this, the second time I'm scrambling to put some stuff together for you guys? Okay. I had a feeling it was going to turn into this, by the way. I had a real feeling you guys were going to tell me to do this. I don't know why. Something in the air. Hey, Double Click, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. I really appreciate it. All right, so we're doing overkill with a tether cable, but it's going to work. I need to sacrifice this port, so I'm going to push this over here. It sees it, but it's not giving me a signal out of this. Oh, whoa, hey, look at that. So you're watching me on the Z50 in the lower part, and you watch me on the Z6 over here. How crazy is that? Oh, this is so cool. Hang on a second, I totally have to do this. This right here is the Z6. So this is the Z6 right here. This is Z6 right here. This is Z50 right here. So there you go, guys. It's at the same time. Let me see. This is ridiculous. Let me see if I move this way, maybe. This is so frustrating. I feel like I'm back in the event space with like 16 cameras. Okay, so wait, now I don't know which camera is which. This is the Z6. Okay, so this is the Z6 right here. Okay, so this is the Z6. Look, I'm having a Zoom call with myself, guys. And this is the Z50 over here. So 50, 6. Whoa, man, this is crazy. Hey, look. There's a delay. So the reason there's a delay is because the HD60S is actually encoding slower. It's actually a, so this thing right here, if you notice, like this is the 6, right? Watch. If I lift my hand, it'll happen faster on the Z50 than the 6 because the 50 is going directly in. The 6 is going into this and then back out into the computer. So it's taking forever to come in and out. I'll say this, the Z50 with this lens I have on it is a little faster at reacting to things, so that's kind of cool. Z50 has USB webcam utility Canon. Sort of. So you can use any camera with like Spark Cam or Ecam without having to do anything to it. But the problem with the EOS utility thing is you don't get full res out of the camera. You only get 560p, which is a quarter of your full res. And it's like, and you get no audio. This is weird. This delay thing is weird. Actually, I could put the Helios on one of these. You want to do that? We could try putting the Helios on the Z50. It'll be punched in pretty hard though. All right. Nothing's gonna go wrong here, right? Nothing. Nah, nothing. Hang on. Oh boy, what am I doing? Why am I such a glutton? And why do I do this while I'm live? Okay. So I should let me see. I'm gonna open it up and then I'm gonna focus the hell out of this thing. Ooh, it's dreamy. Oh, it's so dreamy. This is crazy. So Helios on the Z50 right here. You see this dreaminess? Let me close the aperture down just a little bit to give me some more depth of field. And I'm out of focus, so let me focus a little better. It's so razor thin, it's crazy. Okay, that's kind of good. So yeah, this is a Z6 over here and a Z50 with a Helios manual Russian 40, is this a 44-2? Yeah, it's a 44-2 lens. So you're looking at me in this dreamy bokeh. Whoa, but it's cropped in because I'm on a crop sensor. I couldn't put it on the Nikon Z6 because my tripod that I have it on is actually blocking where I would put it. Get the other Seth to focus it for you. Yeah, I know, right? Wait, how would I, let me just get in there. That'd be so funny. It's a Russian knockoff of a Biotar. Yeah, they're all Russian knockoffs. That's the whole point of those lenses, that they're knockoffs. Let me back this lens up so it's not like jumping in my face like this. Let me see. How long has this battery been lasting? We're on, not bad. We're up 20 minutes now. So this is, let me focus it a little more. So yeah, dreamy bokeh. Ooh, dreamy bokeh. Ooh. This is ridiculous. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's a, hey, we're a photo nerd community, and if I can't do this stuff here, I don't know where I can do it. But this is pretty cool, I think. So now we have the Z50 with the Helios, and you can even see the difference in the color. You see how the Helios has a warmth to it? That's the glass. And then what I'll do is I'll punch in a little bit with this one. Oh, wrong way. Yeah, you can even see in my shirt. You see my shirt has a little bit more warmth to it than like stark white because one Seth wasn't enough. So Vanessa, check this out. Z50 over here with a all manual Russian Helios lens on it. That's why it's got this dreamy bokeh. And then my Z6 over here. Kind of crazy, right? I'm just curious how long this battery is going to last on the Z50. I really hope they have a firmware update coming soon to let you use the USB as a AC input, actually. So this is how little the lens is on the Z50. Well, now I don't have the autofocus going on here because I have a manual lens, but kind of crazy, right? this thing, let me see how close focus I can get with this thing. So this is in focus here. Oh, it's so dreamy. Oh, look at the bokeh. That had to be an oversight, not letting you speed it to the camera. Well, it could be an oversight, or it could just not handle it. You know what I mean? We don't know. I didn't build this thing, right? So who knows what the real deal is. I mean, technically, I could put my 150 Irix macro on this thing right now. It would probably only see my eyeball because it would be a 150 with a crop factor on it, which would be a little bananas. I do have it right over here. But again, it's a manual lens. Or, you know what I could do, guys? You know what I could do? I could put the same lens on both cameras and you could see the crop factor. That would be cool. You want to see? All right, here's the decision. Do you guys want the same lens to show the crop factor? Or do you want to see the Irix on the Z50, which will punch into, what is that, a 75 plus 50, so what, a 220 millimeter lens it'll turn into? Irix 50, Irix, you guys want the Irix? It'll turn into an over 200 millimeter lens. Same lens than the Irix. Man, I haven't pulled this thing out in a minute. Same lens. Man, you guys are getting greater. Use the 400 2.8. I don't have a 400 2.8 here. Oh boy, this is gonna get messy quick. God, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, actually, I bet you this thing tips the camera forward. I bet you it does. Well, only one way to find out, right? Oh yeah, that's right. I have a screw adapter on here, so it's like even weirder. So this is like two adapters in one right now. So I had a screw adapter and the screw mount, and now I have the adapter to that was two adapters in one. Now it's gonna be, this thing's gonna tip this thing forward, dude. Okay. This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be so bad. So this thing is a 200 millimeter. Let me see if I can, it's so razor thin. Oh. This is crazy. It's crushing this GorillaPod though. So that's some knuckle hair for you. And that's not even the closest it goes. So this is my palm tattoo. So there you go. Little bit of the snake over here. Oh God, this is razor thin, guys. But this is the Z50. This is the Z50 with a 150 millimeter full frame lens on it. Let me see if I can get something that's a little different to look at than my skin. This is a quarter. Oh, my filthy nails. Wow, this is so... Come on, there we go. Oh. I'm not even moving like a millimeter and it's like in and out of focus, just so you guys have an idea of what's happening here. It's crazy, right? So there we go. Crazy, right? The bokeh is nice on it. The bokeh. Oh, the bokeh. Oh, the bokeh. Oh, the bokeh. Oh, the bokeh. Now what's cool is when you use this lens with focus peaking, it's just kind of fun, you know? You can see how bloodshot my eyes are. What are you going to do when you actually go back to the studio with all that space? You turn your apartment into a production cockpit? I know, right? All right, I am going to... Circles of confusion, yeah. All right, I'm going to swap this lens out because it is actually about to fall over. Before I do that, I'm just going to do one more. Let me see. So that's my back wall, right? And let me see if I can get my hand in there just to show how that blows out really quickly with the soft focus. So there you go. That's some bokeh for you. That's some bokeh. And then, this is kind of crazy. What the hell am I doing? Let's do the same lens on these two bodies. So I will say this, the Irix mount is crazy tight. It feels like it doesn't fit on your camera, but it's just really built. Oh, there it is. Okay. So we'll set these both to 24. They are equidistant. One's a little lower. I apologize, but so that's a pretty big crop factor, really. Hang on a second. So let me see if I can put this thing on something so it's at least the same height, kind of, sort of, in a way. Whoop, totally knocked that. I'm a professional. I'm a professional. That's a pretty big crop factor, huh? This is both zoomed out to 24. You're looking at a 24 millimeter Z6 right here, a 24 millimeter Z lens on a Z50 right here. So crop factor, man, 1.5 crop factor, whatever it is. Let's see what 50 millimeter looks like on both of these. So this is 50 mil on the Z6, on the Z50, and they're basically the same exact distance from me. And if I do this, you can see how fast they autofocus, right? 1, 2, 3. So there you go. That is exactly the same exact lens. So the same color tone also, right? I'm actually wondering what's this battery up to over here. Oh, it's still full. This battery says it's still full. And we've been streaming for 45 minutes. On the Z6, the most we got was 4 hours. Man, this delay is kind of killing me. But we know why it's delayed. Do you sacrifice anything other than the IBIS and full frame with the Z50? Yeah, it is 8-bit video, not 10-bit video color. Let me just double check. Hang on a second. So we have the crop factor, right? 1.5 crop factor. Okay. So the viewfinder size is smaller. That's to be expected. The resolution of the back screen, I think, is lower too, actually. Oh, you actually get a pop-up flash inside the Z50, which is kind of fun, especially if you have flashes that need an optical trigger. You dial the flash power all the way down so it doesn't affect your shot, but it'll still trigger your strobes, which is pretty cool. Zoom in the Z6 so they look the same so you can see the color. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom this out then. So that should be roughly the same. You're also not watching me in 10-bit video. You're watching me in 8-bit video because it's being encoded to go on live stream. How is the brightness of the back screen? The brightness of the back screen is pretty good. So the resolution of the LCD on the back is almost half the resolution of the Z6. So that's a big deal too. If you're someone that's in the field and you're trying to see resolution of your images, I do love cameras with a little flash. Yeah, the little flash is a little nice little thing to keep in there, but it does sacrifice weather sealing, so keep that in mind. So if I were to output the Z6 to a recorder, it would do 10-bit color video. So it would actually be a lot more color depth. I think the Z6 does really good color for video when it's outboarded. Oh, and the other difference is SD memory, XQD memory. So this does 12 frames per second, the Z6, and this little guy does, with a crop sensor, does 11 frames per second in continuous. So it says the Z50 can do 8 megapixels, 30 frames per second. The Z6 does its 24 megapixels, 12 frames per second, full frame. So crop sensor is less information because it's a smaller sensor, full frame, right? So the Z6 over here can do full frame, 24 megapixels, 12 frames per second. That's a lot of information going onto an XQD card, so there's no buffer. It almost never fills up. Or CF Express, I should say. The Z50 does, on a crop sensor, a smaller sensor, up to 11 frames per second, 20 megapixels on a smaller sensor. So you get more resolution, more depth, better low light out of the full frame Z6 and an extra frame per second than the Z50. Which do you recommend if you're getting into primarily for live streaming setup? Well, so far I'm kind of digging the Z50 for live streaming if it can be run out of AC power. If Nikon can come through with a firmware update that lets me power this thing from the USB cable, gold. But right now, I'm doing it off of battery, and we are still 100% battery, which is kind of crazy. We're at 100% battery, and we've been streaming for 40 minutes or so. The USB power while recording is why I like my X-T3. They probably didn't think of it. I don't even know if they understood that people wanted AC power. I don't think they really looked at a streaming market before, you know? My neighbor is like just stomping away. She's like a freaking moose. I don't know what her deal is. Anyway, so this is the Z50 and Z6. Oh, so sharp, so crispy clean. But you see how slow this became in autofocus when I changed the lens? And if I had the native lens on, how much faster it would be? Nikon probably didn't expect COVID to make everyone want to stream. No one expected COVID to anything. And you know what's funny is I yelled at Nikon forever, and I was like, yo, I'm streaming using your cameras. No one's using your cameras for that. I think you should look at this. Radio silence, radio silence, radio silence. Then all of a sudden this hit, and they put my videos on their website. They had me do the Instagram live, and now I'm going to be on Nikon School UK on June 10th, I think. And I'll let you guys know when that link is live. You can sign up for it. Only 100 people are going to be able to RSVP for that live stream, so hope you guys can join me there. Nikon is a smaller company than the rest, and they're just trying to get by, I think. I mean, they've taken hit after hit, the tsunamis, the resources, you know, they're doing what they can. I just really like their gear, you know? I mean, say what you will about the company or whatever, but they really don't rush out new technology that isn't ready, and they really do a good job of refining cameras for photographers. I like the way their layouts are. They're intuitive. They're super well built. I mean, if you look at lens rentals, they opened up a Z6 and said it was one of the most well-built cameras they ever saw in history of them taking apart stuff. So that's something. Nikon's trying. I'm telling you, now that I'm talking to them pretty direct, they're trying, man. They're really getting an idea of, wait, let's listen, let's look. You know, they're hearing the ideas, and they took everything I said that I had a critique on, and they wrote down all of it. So who knows what's going to happen going forward. They're really listening to people out there now. Plus Nikon out of camera color is stellar. Yeah, Nikon really did get better with their color. In the beginning, the Nikon colors were like a little too green and a little too yellow, but they're pretty on point now. And look at that Irix case, by the way. Pretty baller, right? It's like a little pouch. Yeah, Irix is a cool company. Everything's super affordable. I don't think any of their lenses goes beyond $600, you know? Oh, I can't believe I just used that Helios. Hey, oh wait, I'm crazy. I might be crazy. Should I hook up my Fuji? Let me see what I got here. I do have another cable right here. The Z50 compared to the Fuji could be fun. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to run 3 cameras. I can't run 3. I'm going to sacrifice the Z6 and put on the X100V, which is kind of cool because if you think about it, it's crop sensor. It's just this is a 35 millimeter. Actually, no, it's not 35. It's 23. But we can actually put the native lens back on. How much battery do I have left on this? Oh, it's got full battery. Let me just make sure there's no timer on it. Power management. Auto power off. Where'd I just put that cable? Damn it. Oh, here it is. Fuji has a clean output. Yeah, Fuji has a clean HDMI output for video. And I'm going to plug this in. All right. Okay, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out this lens. That way we have the native lens. I think that's fair. Is that fair to everybody that I go back to the native lens on the Z50? Fair? Fair? Okay, it's fair. Okay. Jesus Christ, this place is a mess of adapters now. Okay. Whew. All right. So now let me set this to ISO 320, 60th of a second, 0. I don't even know if I have autofocus set on this thing. Oh, it's probably in black and white. Oh no, it's not in black and white. Never mind. My stills are in black and white. Okay. So let's say goodbye to the Z6. This is such a mess. Let me get this off of there. All right, are we still good? Yeah, we're still good. Okay. So they're like side by side. Oh man, Hey, Steve, what's up, man? Steve, I'm swapping out cameras like crazy just to see what's going on. I mean, If we can't have fun with this, what can we have fun with, right? So the HD60S is about to pick up the Fuji. Your audio's coming, my audio's coming from the Z50, yeah. It's giving me good lights. It's saying, hey, I see something in here. Oh, there we go. All right, so now you're looking at me on a Fuji over here and the Z50 over here. So yeah, it's a flatter profile on the Fuji, but I think that's because I actually have it set to a flat profile. Let's see, let me see. Film simulation, Velvia. Hit OK. If I put it here, I should have like a snappier color. See, look, that's Fuji Velvia, which is oversaturated now. I'm gonna put it on classic chrome. So I got Astia, I mean, you could probably physically see these differences. Black and white, sepia tone, classic negative, pro negative. What do we want to do? Pro negative, classic high. Let me see classic high. Nah, it's still a little flat, right? Classic chrome, Astia, which is soft, subdued color. Oh, it is soft and subdued color. So this is standard color on the Fuji, which is pretty natural looking, actually. Well, you're looking at me on the Nikon, you're looking at me on Vivid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this profile. Oh my God, I'm tangled up. Oh, I'm tangled up. Oh, I'm tangled. And now we're really going to see it standard color versus standard color, really. What the hell just happened to this Nikon? Hang on a second. How is it so orange? What? Oh, shoot. There we go. I touched stuff. That's what happened. Like a mook. I touched a bunch of stuff. Okay, so now it's standard color on both. You can see how much slower the Fuji is at focusing too. The Nikon stays with me. If I do this to the Nikon, it snaps right away. If I do this to the Fuji, it has no clue what to do. See that? It just focused on the back wall, then found me. But I still love this camera. I don't care what you guys say. But I think the sharpening is kind of like not just the lens with Nikon. Just so you guys are aware of that. The Nikon still looks better. The sharpening looks like post-processing. Yeah, that's what that exactly shift. That's exactly what I'm saying. I like the left. It reminds me that I have bad eyes. Wait, this one you like, the Fuji? I mean, the Fuji was not designed for this, and I can guarantee you it's burning away battery like crazy right now. Nope, actually it's still good. Let's see how the Nikon's doing on battery. Okay, so the Nikon just went down 1/3. So the Nikon is finally starting to show the battery giving up, and we are at what? How deep are we into this stream? We are 1 hour into this stream. That means this camera's been going for 1 hour and 15 minutes on one battery and only 30% down. That's pretty good, at least I think. I mean, you guys just saw a ton of different cameras, man. Let's see if, look at the Fuji pulsing. It doesn't know what to do, but the Nikon, dead sharp, doesn't even second guess itself. I put this on the Fuji, and now it's like freaking out. See that? But I can actually take this and change the film profile on it. So this is what I leave it on almost all the time. I leave my my Fuji on this, and it's my BTS camera. So this is how I like to use my Fuji. I wish I had a little more contrast. Let me put it on red filter. The red filter might be pretty cool. So this is with the red filter on, which gives you a lot deeper blacks. So yeah, guys, you're seeing a whole bunch of weird stuff on this. I hope this, this is the kind of stuff I want to have fun with and do with you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what I'm doing with this channel, and I know I'm like haven't been going live enough because I've been going live every day for Adorama, and it beats the hell out of you. I mean, ask Ab, he's like dying. The black and white stream looks nice. Maybe we'll do some more black and white. I can do black and white on the Nikon too. You want to do that? Black and white versus black and white. All right, let's do black and white versus black and white. So this is Fuji black and white. Whoop! Oh, down goes a Z50. Down goes Fraser. Down goes Fraser. Monochrome, like straight up monochrome, right? Yeah, there it is, straight up monochrome. So this is Nikon's black and white, which I actually kind of am alright with it. And this is Fuji's Acros. Go noir or go home. That's funny. The Fuji one doesn't look like this to me when I'm shooting stills. It's kind of bothering me that it looks like this. So this is standard black and white, not Acros. So this is standard black and white on both. Alright, you can see that they crunch down shadows a lot on the Nikon. Fuji has them a little open and goes a little bit more of a gray wash. But you can actually fine tune both of these, right? Like I can actually go into the Fuji, and I can go into my tones, and I can crunch my blacks down a little bit, and I can give it a yellow filter, and it'll give it a little bit of a different look. You see? Ooh, Eterna. This one, everybody likes Eterna. For, like, this is what, when you shoot this in natural light, it looks really interesting. Nikon looks sharper too. The Nikon has like a post-process thing going on. I'm not 100% sure the sharpness you're seeing on the Nikon is straight up lens. Guess it's makes shooting unique. Everyone has a different ideas, none are wrong. Yeah, pretty much. When I shot in Tokyo, this was the color profile I used when I was shooting my tattoo getting put on. So like technically, this is the same color on that tattoo that I shot in Tokyo. So there's that. Is that what those filters I got? So when it comes to filters for black and white, yellow gives you a little more pop in the highlights. Red gives you more of like a dense shadow, more contrast. Green will change your textures a bunch. So this is like a green filter on Acros. And you can see that the Nikon's a little crunched up and the Fuji's a little flat. So I don't know why I keep messing with this, and tomorrow I'm going to be like, why did I mess with this so bad? Let's do +4 highlights on the Fuji. And you can see that the curve like makes it look very plasticky now. And then if I took it and I went to the shadows and I crunched those down even farther, you see how crunchy it gets now? That's a lot, right? So you can actually dial this in, and just so you know what I'm doing, you can actually see your curve right there. So, you know, if you wanted, although nothing I can look at looks like skin, so I'm just like freaking trying to do something here. +2 on the shadows. Oh, that's looking better. That's looking better. All right, now we're getting somewhere. So now we got some like actual contrast on the Fuji, which is the way I like to shoot. I kind of want to see something here. For the record though, this Fuji getting real hot. The Fuji's getting really toasty on me here. So let me see. It's not really meant to do this. The Nikon's a little bit more open. Fuji has a little bit more snap on the highlight, which I could actually fix probably. So now the Fuji has like less of that snap happening. I feel like I'm in an old MTV video, like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm actually able to dial in whatever I want to do on this camera, although it's all screwed up now. I just totally, I don't know what I just did here. The fact that you have to keep playing with the Fuji makes, well, the Fuji, I don't have to play with it so much. It's that if you don't like a flat profile, you play with it, right? But I really do like the way the stills come out of this. I just keep it on Acros and I'm good to go. I am going to shut this down because it is getting really warm. So we're going to shut this one off. Sorry, guys. I just don't want to risk anything happening here if it's not meant to go. It's got a lot of heat coming on like right over here. So I don't want to mess with it. All right. All right. Whew. That was a rabbit hole, huh? All right. So let's zoom this out. And I'm in this black and white profile right here. Maybe I should just do all my streams in black and white, and maybe I'll stand out on Twitch, right, guys? I'll stand out on Twitch. I'll just be like, hey, I'm Seth Miranda. This is me in black and white. Yeah, the Nikon's black and white is actually pretty nice. Haze it? Haze is for suckers. No, I'm just kidding. There's a few people that use haze really well, and then there's some people that crutch on it like crazy, and it just becomes a gimmick like anything else. Gavin Hoey uses it amazing. There are cables all over my floor right now. But this is kind of cool, streaming in black and white. Maybe I'll do this for more often. You know, but maybe when I do the image critiques, I'll be in black and white. Actually, I'm not hating this profile. Nikon's got a nice black and white profile going on. I'm not hating it, guys. Am I crazy? What do you guys think? I need a hair light. I might actually throw a hair light over here and hit this way. Last Witness Noir. Yeah, my hair's still, see, I'm not a ginger anymore. I'm not special. I'm not special anymore. Hold on, let me check the video. Yeah, we're still good, man. We're still good. We're still, what just happened to the... What just happened here? Hang on a second. Did I just touch something else? I did. I did touch something else. It's what? Pop. What does pop look like? Oh my God. I'm like neon. Look at this. Oh, that's horrible. There we go. Keep it like that. Yeah, that was pretty fun, huh? Yeah, that was pop. And they have like toy camera mode. They have like 6. They made this camera to have fun with it. They made it for vlogging. They made it for like, you know, that kid in college that just wanted to mess around. The kid in high school that just wants to mess around. Give you those fun color profiles. So in camera, you get these like snappy, weird filters that everybody wants on their Instagram, right? So that's what they made this camera for. However, it is like half the size of the Z6 and almost half the price too. To get the kit, you're looking at about $1,000. And I'm not hating this kit. If it can go into AC power, I think it's going to be... And all these streamer kids that are like talking about what camera to use, they're not even looking at stuff like this. They don't even know what they're talking about. They're just like, does it stream? I'm like, do you want it to only stream? So Nikon, if you can update the firmware in this camera and get it to AC power, beautiful. This is crazy fast focus. Look at that. Look at how fast that shit is. Black and white mode with the Helios. Oh, should we do it? Should we do it? I remember somebody once saying, watch a movie with the sound off and you can see how it was shot better. Yeah, it's true. All right. All right. I'll do the Helios. You guys, you freaking jerks. Here we go. I'm actually digging this black and white. We should do black. And now I don't need all this colored light behind me. Oh, this adapter is so snug. It's so snug. Okay, here we go. This is going to get weird. Okay. All right, so that's clearly overexposed. Whoa. Oh my God. This lens is so long on this freaking... Let me see, where is it in focus? Oh. Whoa. There it is. Let me close it down a little bit. And let me focus it down a little bit. Where is it in focus? Right here. All right. So there's the Helios in black and white, but it's so punched in because it is not meant for this. Black and white is badass. What did it say? Black and white is what? Black and white is badass, but won't you just drive yourself getting the perfect light? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is not the ideal lens for this at all. Unless I can put it maybe 10 more feet back. I'm not into this actually. It's like, it's too much. But you see how even the color, like, because the color of the glass is different, that even the gradational tones change. That's a pretty crazy thing if you think about it. Yeah, it's about an 80, is it an 87? 25, yeah, it's about an 87 to 90 millimeter, yeah. What f-stop is it set to? I'll tell you, it's got to be f4 because that's what I have the other lens set to, and this is on exposure. So that would make sense that this is at f4. You got a whole bunch of different looks in one. I was like, what am I going to stream tonight? I got nothing to talk about. I got nothing to show you guys. I'm going to put the other lens on because this is really an annoying way to sit and stream. Sorry, guys. Let me give it a shot. Is it not? There we go. Okay. Nikon has a hit on its hand. It's a good little camera, guys. I got to tell you, people were like bitching about this camera up and down. Once again, unless they got it in their hands, they can't say shit. So I feel it. I think it's a cool little camera. I actually was going to get one for my father. So, you know, I think this is a good one. If they can just get it to do AC power, we're good. It's a good little, and can I just say this? The grip on the camera feels the same as the Z6. This distance right here, where I can actually not get my freaking hand crunched behind the lens and a grip, is the same on this Z50. It's the best grip on a small camera I've ever held, but that's me. Might not be for you. The Z6 is good, man. I feel it. I think the Z50 is a lot of fun. And the fact that, let me see how much battery it's burned. We're at an hour and a half on the stream, and it isn't even halfway down in power. And that's just one battery. I think that's pretty good. We've been running it the whole time. We've been running audio out of it the whole time. I found when I was holding my XT30, yeah, the pinky will always fall off. You know, real cameras like this, a real camera, you don't have that, oh, got a Lume Cube filter on there. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, right? And you can even get an extended grip. On these little guys, these mirrorless joints, it's always been this small body thing, you know? I mean, I have big hands, dude. Like, it's always been like that. And that's one of the reasons I'm not really to this, the way newer cameras are going, but people like smaller, man. I will say that hopefully the next Z series has a grip system and all this stuff like that. I am not using the built-in mic. Do you want to hear the built-in mic? Because that means I got to change something in there. Hang on. How's that? You guys hear me okay? This is the on-camera mic. It's low. Let me turn it back up. So now you're listening to me with the on-camera mic and not this mic. That is the Z50 mic you're listening to me right now. I don't know how the levels are, but I just had it at 10 out of 20. So I don't know if that sounds good to you guys or not, but this is what you're listening to me on. Noise is higher, but it's pretty good. Well, that's every camera. The on-camera mic has to have gain put up on it. If I change the gain on the mic, or the level rather, I changed it to like 5, you wouldn't hear so much noise. It is gathering, it's an omni mic, which means it's gathering sound from the entire room and not just me. So that's another thing, right? So that's what's happening right now. All right, I'm gonna put back my mic. My mic. Okay, so now you're listening to the Rode Go mic. And that's it. Boom. So that was a long journey through a lot of crazy shit. It'll work in a pinch. Surprisingly, Fuji has a good mic, believe it or not. So believe that. So we just went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lenses and 3 cameras. Yeah, black and white. I'm trying to get my Twitch to stand out. So I think maybe from here on out, I'll do all black and white streams, which I think is pretty baller. Just saying. This Z50 is pretty cool, man. I'm into it. Thanks for letting me borrow it, Nikon. And just so you guys know, Dan Norton has a Z50 coming soon, so you'll be seeing him using it. Man, we've been streaming for an hour and a half. You believe this? Look at this. Manual lens, screw mount adapter to F mount, F mount to Z mount. If this thing cuts out, it cuts out. So, and that's when I'll end the stream. I just want to see how much longer this thing goes for. What other classic lenses do you have to adapt? I would have to go through crates and crates of stuff. You guys have no clue how much relic stuff I have in here. I will say I went through a tough time in my life and I had to sell a lot of my brass manual focus lenses to pay my rent a long time ago. So I lost a lot of those. And this was before everybody wanted them for mirrorless. I wish I had those lenses back, to be honest. But it is what it is. This is a crop sensor. Not bad. Yeah, I had to sell those. I had to sell something, and it was like probably the only thing I had that was worth value that I didn't need to actually stay working. And you know, it is what it is. You know, the C50, I'm kind of feeling it. I think I'm gonna start doing my Twitch stream in black and white from now on. I'm kind of feeling this. Kind of feeling it. It makes the logo pop. I know, right? It looks like it's like Sin City. It's like, oh, this isn't. It's straight up Sin City. Actually, if I do this, watch how grimy I get. If I do this. You and my father used to run North Jersey. What happened? Funny how? Funny like a clown? You know, something like that. You know? Straight up Scorsese, right? And what they didn't know, Paulie used to take a razor blade and slice down the garlic real thin so it would melt as soon as it hit the sauce, you know? You lived in a 66 Chevelle for 9 months? Wow. Was it in 1966? I can't believe this thing is still going. It's been running for an hour and 45 minutes on one small little battery. That's not bad. Black and white and a hair light. You're really stuck on that hair light, huh? Here, I'll give you a hair light. I can't bend myself this way. Like that. Like, it just hits me a little bit. Is Nikon going to market the Z50 as a streaming camera? I think they might. They're trying to market it as a vlogging camera. Which, why does everybody got to do vlogging? It's like, I don't know. Anyway, I think they really need to solve this AC power issue. There isn't an adapter, and no one makes a third-party adapter yet for it either. So I'm actually texting someone at Nikon right now. Needs AC power. I'm just going to write firmware question mark. See if that happens. No fedora. If I wear a fedora, then I have to sell presets and scam people out of money and probably harass women like some other guys. That was wrong. That was wrong. Sell presets. You can call them "I'm not angry, I'm from Brooklyn" and have them all in black and white. Actually, my most famous black and white color grading was called Cadence Black and White. Kaydence, Cadence. Named after the special model we created it for while we were shooting. The M50 would be good. This isn't an M50 though. The M50 is a Canon. This is a Z50. The M50 is, I don't know much about it actually. But the problem with the Canons is that they have their own mount for the crop sensor mirrorless. So if you went mirrorless with Canon, you can't use your lenses back and forth. I think that was like a misstep on their part. And you know, so Sony and Nikon have a unified mount. I mean, Fuji has its own X mount and the G mount for the medium format, but they don't even do full frame. Yeah, Olympus only makes one sensor size, so I think Nikon and Sony have it kind of the right way with a unified mount. I can't believe this thing is still going. And you know what, guys? It's got a little bit of warmth, but nowhere near what I would call worrisome. Not even close. The Z50 though, I think could be an ideal streaming camera just because it's easy to grip alone. I mean, you could put this on a small GorillaPod and it doesn't really block much of my setup. My Z6, this thing, when it gets in front of my screen, it takes up a good amount of stuff. But I do like the Z6 a lot for streaming. This though is super quick for the native lens. So if there was a lens for the Z6 that was short in travel like this lens, the autofocus would be pretty much the same pull. I mean, look at that. That's like dead on. Crazy, right? It's crazy fast. And it's because the native lens is so freaking small. Nikon needs a grip for huge gorilla hands like mine. They do make a battery grip. I know what you're saying. I wish it had like a buttony grip, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's also Gen 1. The Z6 and Z7 were Gen 1, remember that. It's almost making me want to buy one just because of the focus. Really? Look, even if you're a Canon shooter and you bought a Nikon like this with the kit lens, there's nothing else you need to worry about. Who cares if you shoot Canon or Nikon? You can shoot whatever camera you want as long as it's complete, right? It's not like you're trying to adapt lenses to this. If this lens works for you, which, I mean, this is it zoomed all the way in, and it just closed down an aperture because it's a variable aperture lens. It could be a little self-contained thing. This lens is the 16-50 f 3.5/6.3. So this is a kit lens, and they also have a long lens that they have for this kit too. I think it's great. I think they did a good job with it, as long as they can get some sort of 1.5 crop. It's a 1.5 crop. Did you not see the stream before where I had the Z6? Let's do that one more time. You guys want to hook up the Z6 one more time? Give me a yeah if you guys want to do that. So Z6 in. We'll do this. And now it's looking for it. Give it a second. Canon math, fuck the world. Why? What? Canon's 1.6 crop? Is that what you're crying about? It helped if I turned the camera on, right? So that was my fault on that one. Listen, I got 8,000 things going on right here. I'm talking to you guys. Oh, hey, look at that. So now you're looking at Nikon color and Nikon black and white in the same stream. Look at that. This is so baller. Come on. Are you not entertained? Look at this. So now you can see how fast the autofocus is when it has a small, short lens like that. And of course, the Z6 is going to be on a delay because I'm running it through this, which has the Nikon rep is totally buying you a beer. Hey, I don't drink. The Z50 has been going on for almost 2 hours on one battery. He's interviewing himself. Rah, rah, rah. What's going on? Actually, I could probably throw a ball and then catch it on this side really fast. I don't know. I think the short lens alone, being this fast to grab, is making this more stream worthy in general. It's half the price, really light, doesn't take up a big footprint, has a good battery life. We're going on 2 hours on the battery life, and the focus is crazy fast. I mean, this is nuts. All that YouTube shit you see about Nikon autofocus isn't as good as this one or that one, I don't understand it because I haven't had a problem with any of it. They don't use it. They just try it for 5 seconds and go, see that? No focus hunting. I know, you saw it hunt on my Fuji though. When I plugged in the Fuji, we had a lot of hunting going on. It's really impressive. I know. I wish I didn't live in the sticks and go rent one to compare to me. So yeah, I wish I wasn't on a delay. It is what it is. This is a ridiculous way to stream with 2 cameras like this, but I'm feeling it. The Fuji wasn't made for video. It wasn't made for constant whatever. So this is still, I love this camera still, but if I'm going to stream, I'm not going to use that, you know? And it got hot in what, 20 minutes, I'd say? 20, 30 minutes that thing got hot. This Z50 is a little warm, but it is nowhere near, and the Z6 never gets hot. Well, Nicole, not every camera's for everybody. I still like it for my everyday, throw in my bag, kind of shoot when things are around kind of thing. I'm not getting rid of the Rode. What are you doing? I hate my neighbor. I hate my neighbor so much. The Rode is great. I have 2, 3 sets of those Rodes. I use them all the time with my phone. That's a big thing, and they're small. I mean, the Rode, where is the envelope that I have for the Rode? They fit into this little tiny, look, this is an entire lav setup right there. This is crazy. This is the size of one part of a lav. The one thing I'll say is that the Rode every now and then might lose connection sometimes. The Rode battery, they say it goes for 7 hours. If you have the gain cranked up like I do sometimes, you will see the Rode go down to like maybe 5.5 hours of battery time. We've been going for 2 hours, and I just streamed today for 1.5 hours with Fernando, and I did a Zoom call, and I'm still on the same set of Rode. Think about that, right? I do keep another set on the charge so I can swap in and out. So this Nikon's still going. If it hits 2 hours, I'll say that's pretty good. For a little tiny battery to go 2 hours, pretty good. If it could charge through the USB port while the camera's on, you got a winner, Nikon. Hopefully they can do something with firmware. I don't know if that's possible, but they seem to be very psyched on updating firmware whenever they can. So that's pretty cool. I said I was going to jump on the stream and be like, I'll stream for like a half hour. We'll just see what the Nikon looks like. And you just had me go through 5 lenses, 3 cameras. How many inputs I got going on here? I got a spider web of cables going on. We had my Helios on this thing. You know, forget about it. How many adapters I got going on. So not bad. Whoop. Now I'm in all black and white. Whoop, 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 whoop. And back to this. So you hear my voice going? Anything else, you guys? You guys have any questions about anything? Do you guys want to know anything else? I feel like it looks like Nikon are really throwing the kitchen sink at mirrorless. Good for them. They're waking up for it. They're definitely getting up for it. I'm curious to see what Gen 2 is going to be, but these have been crazy affordable. I think that this Z50 is totally worth the grand for the kit. And if they could just throw like the HDMI cable in the kit, the HDMI micro to full, because it's not a normal HDMI, it's HDMI micro. So it's HDMI micro, I'll put it over here. So it's the HDMI micro, and you need an HDMI full. See the difference? So the micro is what you need to full if you're gonna use the Z50 for streaming, and I think Nikon should just throw that in the box. All right, you guys have any other questions? I thought this camera was gonna die already. I'm just kind of bantering, waiting for it to die. It's gonna hit 2 hours. I wish every camera manufacturer would include the HDMI micro cable. Me too. You think they would wake up and realize what people are using these cameras for? They give you the USB cable, so why wouldn't you give them the HDMI cable? That should be in every box. I'm with you, man. I am absolutely with you, man. It's like not a lot of cost at all. They put a 3-foot cable in there, and that's it. That's all people need. This is crazy that I'm still going. Is the battery like blinking or anything? No, it's still got another chunk of time on it. Jeez, this is crazy. I kind of don't want to give up. I want to let this thing die. 5 hours later, poor Seth fell asleep. If this thing lasts 5 hours on a battery, I think everyone on Earth should buy it, but it's not going to be 5 hours. I think it's going to be 2.5 hours is what I'm going to guess. So right now we are just hitting the 2 hour mark on this battery. I'm going to guess that it's going to give me another like 15 minutes or so maybe. I'm being told that some people have live streamed for 3.5 hours with a Z50. They're saying that's not tested, but that's kind of crazy. 3.5 hours? That's kind of crazy. If this thing lasts 3.5 hours, I'm going to die today. However, this is over 2 hours on one battery. So for me, I think 2 hours is a sweet spot for battery as far as live streaming goes. Like it's not too short, but it's not really that great to end a stream unless if you want to go for like 4 hours or whatever. If this thing makes me sit here for another, I can't believe this thing's going. I might even tap out. So this thing isn't even close to hot at all. Like, that's kind of nuts. Oh, it can flip the screen. Flips the screen. It puts the lotion on its skin. Oh, I mean, look at how tiny this thing is. Look at how tiny. It's so little. But look, you see what I'm saying? I still have like room for my hand. And it's like a solid grip, you know? I think they did a good job on that, definitely. Yeah, it flips down, so what? They did a pretty good job. And I like that it's the same interface as my Z6. It even has the 2 buttons in here. You can't see it because it's too dark, but the 2 buttons in here to set as customs, it even has that. So it all feels like it's the same system. If you put a slider plate on this, and so here, I'll show you. If you put a slider plate on the quarter 20 and shift this over, or the other way rather, you can flip down the screen and it's totally fine. But yeah, the flip down is cool for the one reason, and that's because when you flip the screen down and you're looking at it, it's just like you're looking into the lens as opposed to over here. So imagine if I'm looking at you guys like this, but I'm like, hey guys, welcome, this is blah, 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 and this is my vlog. But if I was looking here and just looking slightly down, it looks like I'm in the lens, and that's kind of why the flip down screen is good. I get why not everybody's into it. I kind of don't care. Does that make sense to you guys? That I'd be looking under the lens and at myself instead of over to the side? I can't believe this camera's still going. I can't believe we've been streaming for 2 hours. How is it 9 o'clock at night right now? How? Why am I doing this? It says it's almost empty, which means, let me see if it's on like empty yet. Nope, still has a third of the battery left. So it's not even doing that flashing dead battery thing yet. Man, my voice is killing me. I might just tap out before this camera taps out. I don't know if I'm gonna beat this Nikon. I'm fading fast, guys. I'm gonna have a dead, I feel like I'm on a telethon right now. I mean, look, is it gonna focus on that? You can see that the camera is still right there. The battery is reading red, but it's still going. It's still going. Oh boy. Oh, look, it's tracking my face. Oh, 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 oh. Actually, if I flip it to photo mode, huh, interesting. Let me see. Oh, okay. So now the battery might be dying on me. So we got almost 2.5 hours. All right, I'm gonna go, guys. It's dying. Thanks so much, Z50. All right, bye, guys. Have a great night. See you.